last year, the various political parties, including in particular the NDC and NPP, held their primaries to select their parliamentary candidates for the impending general elections. For the NDC, as you do recollect, 5 of them, of the members of parliament, the incumbent members of parliament, elected not to contest. When they went into the primaries, 17 were not successful, to have retained their slots to represent their constituencies, bringing their number to 22 of people who will not be contesting in the December presidential and in the parliamentary elections. For the MPP, which held their own on 27th January, 18 elected not to contest, and 28 lost. And that means that for them, 46 out of the 137 will not be contesting, which is about a third. It's about a third of those of them who will not be contesting. Certainly not the best. You see, for MPs, for members of parliament, on the average, or in general, the longer they stay in parliament, the better they become in the performance of their functions. And I keep saying that it doesn't take 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, in other words, 1 term, to build the capacity of a member of parliament. It is much more than that. If you want to see the real relevance of a person, let him serve in parliament for 2 terms, and we'll see how the person will blossom. If after 2 terms, into the 3rd term, the person is not maturing, then perhaps you can draw your own conclusions. But first time, the person comes, so much resources spent to build the capacity of that person, and just after the 1st term, the person is peeled off at the expense of the state. I dare say the political parties are causing huge financial loss to the country. And I think that we need really to come together to interrogate the constitutions of the political parties, to do what is needful. I don't know of this practice anywhere in the established democracies, where at the end of the term of parliament, the sluice gates are open for all comers. Whoever thinks that he is qualified to contest, come forth and contest. It doesn't exist anywhere in the world. What obtains in the established democracies is the leadership of the political parties assess the performance of the members and then pass on the report to the party. If there is a deficit in the performance of a person's functions, he's called and advised. If he's stiff-necked, he doesn't want to bend or reform, after a while, maybe after 2, 3, 4 assessments, then then the party can tell the parliamentary group can tell the party outside, this is a no-gooder. He's not helping a cause. You want him to parliament, you don't see him. When he even comes, he doesn't spend more than 5 minutes, he leaves. So it's difficult to work with this person. And his contributions, his or her contributions are nothing to write home about, that kind of thing. Then they will ask the party to change the person so that there will be election in that constituency. Even where there are elections, it's not just limited to a small group to make the choice, who will constitute themselves into, to be blunt, into a cabal to be extracting monies. We all know we are sowing the seeds of corruption at the base level of our parties. You reap what you sow. The thing is, of course, by our customs and traditions, if I come to you pleading for to be some form of recognition, You ask, maybe I may bring some cola nuts, or maybe a pot full of palm wine. And maybe some envelope for your transportation to be at the center. I'm not too sure there is any place in this country where from the person's place of residence to the constituency center where elections will be holding, the amount involved will be, that is to and fro, will be 500 cedis. I'm not too sure of that. That is moving from his place in the constituency to come and vote and then go back. It will cost more than 500 cedis. And yet, what are we seeing? So if you are seeing or hearing about figures above that, then there's something wrong. Then there's something wrong, and we must attend to it. I was in Singapore about 3 weeks ago, and a member of parliament that I was having some discussion with told me in the face, what's happening in Ghana? We are hearing that you have some form of brokerage firm that is dealing with the selling and buying of votes. Oh, wow. And I said, really? There's nothing like that. Then he was asking, is it true that people pay the equivalent of $200, $300? I was so shamefaced. I was so shamefaced. And now, by what has come out from some research by the Inter-Parliamentary Union, IPU, Ghana now is in the league of 2 countries where their parliaments have the highest attrition rate. It is nothing to be proud about. It is nothing to be proud about. So we should be careful. But I'm saying that the masters are the political parties. And they are the people who should be called on to have a second look at their constitutions. I said we're in a league of 2 countries. I think it's 3 countries where it's said of us that we have the highest attrition rates in our parliament.